once I see myself, we will be on the move. I don't see myself yet, do you? You do? All right, looks like we are up and running. Just gonna get a quick mic check, and we got the mic check. There we are. Thank you so much for joining us here on the First Alert Desk. My name is Tori Cooper. So happy to have you with us. This is when we pull the curtain back for you and get to show you a little bit on what we're working on here in our newsroom. So let's dive into some of our top stories that we already started talking about, and we have our reporters working on tonight. Earlier today, the chief of the Atlanta Police Department, Derek Shearbaum, he made an announcement, and he had a lot of his coworkers with him. A lot of police officers were there to make this announcement. They are certainly claiming a victory tonight. I'm just going to make sure I'm getting everything up here. There we are. Multiple people were arrested in connection to 4 separate incidents of street racing. They say that there's been a resurgence in street racing in the last couple of weeks and months, and they were really happy that they were able to make these critical arrests. So they have not released too many other details to us besides that, but we do have our reporter working on this, Blake Devine, and he will have more details on that. I do want to show you some video that they did share with us. This is new video that we were able to get tonight, so let's just show you, because these are the types of videos that you are seeing all over social media. I'm sure if you follow any of the accounts like Atlanta News First or ATL Scoop, you name it, you're usually seeing this somewhere on social media, and it's something that happens all the time. And so these were also some other information I could also share with you tonight is they say that the people that were arrested, they say none of them were from the metro Atlanta area, and that they're all from different areas outside of Atlanta city limits. So that's the latest information we have on that. We do have our reporter Blake Devine that's going to bring more details later on tonight at 10 and 11 o'clock. So we will share that with you. All right, and this is a story that I want to talk about because our Atlanta News First reporter, Bridget Spencer, has really pioneered the charge on this story. I love when I see reporters just really owning their story start to finish, and that's exactly what Bridget Spencer's been doing with this latest story on a man that's from Lilburn in Gwinnett County. His name is Zane Waliani, and he went missing after he was on a hike in Guatemala with one of his friends. This happened last month, and then eventually he was rescued. And she was able to talk with his family members after they learned that he was rescued. And then tonight she's actually speaking with him because he's back home. But I do just want to bring you up to speed on what she was able to develop prior to tonight. And then we'll tease ahead to what you can expect in the newscast tonight on this story. So let's let Bridget Spencer pick it up from here.
I'm just elated. I'm just really, really happy that I'm going to get to see my brother soon.
Zane Waliani disappeared after splitting up with a friend during a Tuesday hike in Guatemala on the Acatenango volcano. His family and volunteers have been desperately searching for him ever since. That is, until now.
I know he dislocated his shoulder. I know he fell. I know he still has to get checked for a lot of internal stuff. But, from the outside perspective, he looks good.
He was spotted on a different side of the inactive volcano after a collaborative and relentless search effort.
I was like, he's not on this volcano. Unless he's crawled into a cave, he's not up here. I think he's walked down.
Chris Sharp is with Black Wolf Helicopters. He was in the air looking for Zane.
We're on oxygen. It's like we're so high. I would not do that risk if I didn't believe he was alive. I was confident he was alive.
Zane was flown back into the nearest city and is now being treated at the hospital as he was severely dehydrated, but his family right now is just thankful that he's alive.
He's been trying to get water from the trees and stuff. And he literally told me he learned a lot on his own in trying to survive. So I'm just really proud of him.
Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
So we are all so happy that he finally made it home. He was a little dehydrated, but now he looks like he has his full strength back. He also talked about some of the things that he endured to be able to survive this terrifying situation. You can catch that story tonight. I don't want to spoil it, so I won't give you too many details. But he did talk about some injuries he endured, who he met, different things that helped him and hindered him along his journey to survival. So tune in tonight at 10 o'clock as well as 11 o'clock, and we will share those details with you. They're definitely something that you're going to want to see. All right, now let's move on to something that will hopefully help your commute tomorrow. Construction is happening at a busy intersection in Midtown at 10th Street and Monroe, right where the Beltline connects. And this is going to be shut down for a number of days. We have our Atlanta News First reporter, Blake Devine, who worked on this story, and he's been keeping a close eye on what's going to be open, routes around it, things you need to know. So I'm going to let him pick it up from here.
This entire intersection at the corner of Piedmont Park between 10th Street and Monroe Drive will shut down on Sunday night, remaining closed off to cars until next Friday. Which is why Luke Percelli isn't pleased.
Right during summer, right at peak transportation when everyone's out and about, I just don't think it's necessarily necessary because, this is putting a roadblock literally in everyone's way.
Cynthia Gaines,
A single lane
the Beltline's director of construction, says a detour will direct drivers from Cayuga to Virginia and from Charles Allen to 8th Street.
We ask everyone to pack their patience. We understand this project is a long time coming, but we're doing this as expeditiously as possible.
The project is aimed at improving safety and accessibility in the area.
One thing that we wanted to do is maximize the amount of space that pedestrians and cyclists have to cross here.
It'll include a 10th Street bike lane leading into the Beltline, new traffic signals, and a raised pedestrian crossing.
We'll have 5 connection points from the Beltline to Piedmont Park. We're excited about those areas and for the connecting neighborhoods to have access to both the park and to the Beltline.
Although the work will cause congestion, Heather Hawley believes it's worth the wait.
Atlanta's turning into a city where you can be outside and be active, and they're using all of this to connect that. So I think any way they can extend it is going to be great for the city.
Blake Devine, Atlanta News First.
So hopefully that information was helpful for you. Keep an eye on the intersection. It's always busy in Midtown somewhere with some construction, so this shouldn't be something that completely disrupts your journey or your path to wherever you're going here in Midtown. But just know that that area is going to be pretty busy and it's going to have some delays. So plan around it and you'll be fine. So now I want to just shift gears to the last story I wanted to tell you about, just because it is graduation celebration season. And unfortunately, we did have a situation that was very scary in Snellville last night. Police in Gwinnett County tell us that they had to respond to a shooting that unfolded there. And unfortunately, when they got to that scene, that's where they say that they found a woman dead, and they found a number of witnesses holding down the suspect. So now let's take you back to that scene. You can see this is the event hall that they responded to. We're told this was on Stone Mountain Highway around 7:30 when they went out there, when this was happening. And they do tell us that they believe that the victim and suspect knew each other. Again, I do want to let you know that this is a homicide investigation, because they did say that that woman was dead when they arrived. And now they're trying to understand what led up to this shooting. So if we get any information as to the victim's name, as well as the circumstances around what led up to this, we will certainly share it with you right here. But again, just be safe out there and do what you can to not be in a bad situation. And it sucks because this was a celebration that went wrong. And so, my prayers are with this family who planned a night that was supposed to be a celebration, and it ended like this. But if you have information for police that's helpful, always want to push you guys to do that. So now we want to talk about other things happening here in Metro Atlanta. If you stepped outside today, you definitely felt it probably was a little warmer, and that's because, according to First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin, it's been the warmest day of the year. So he is timing out your First Alert forecast. We do have a few chances of rain this week, but overall we're going to be heating up. Hey, Cutter.
Hey there, yeah, absolutely. Some decent conditions on the way this week, but occasionally interrupted by just a little bit of rain. in the first alert forecast, so just do keep that in mind. Again, subtle changes here to the forecast. We're going to cool down, and then we're going to heat back up, and eventually mugginess. It's not going to be a dry heat this go around. We will have some real humidity, real hot temperatures, and even hotter feels like or heat index temperatures coming up for North Georgia. So again, thank you for tuning in and for watching. Want to remind you, if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns, we are streaming on many platforms right now, but YouTube, the place to be. And we do have some comments coming in. Kevin, hello to you. Marjorie, hello. Daylight Disinfectant, that is the YouTube avatar. Wesley Millsap, hello to you. Kevin Green, hello. Kevin saying, just relaxing, go to work morning. Okay, have a wonderful evening. I am reading and talking at the same time. That's a little hard, right? So it does look like Sue also commenting about some of the street racing stories that we've been doing. So there's a little bit of a lag here between when video stops playing and when comments come in. But we're shifting gears, talking forecast here. Reminder, that is still the place to be. Atlanta News First YouTube account if you have any weather questions, comments, concerns. And we're going to go ahead and shift over to the first alert forecast now. Just pulling up my graphics. And if you already know what part of the work week you're focusing in on, or if you need clarification, maybe watch the early newscast at 6:30 and something caught your eye and you just have a question, feel free to ask. Atlanta News First is the YouTube account that we are currently streaming on. As Tori just said, it was the hottest day so far this year. High temperature in Atlanta in the lower 90s. We have technically already hit 90 degrees once this year. That was about 2 weeks or so ago, but 90 again today, and it was 91, I should say, was the high temperature unofficially. Going to have to go back and check that as soon as we get some of the more recent data in. In fact, they may have just posted that, the National Weather Service, so I'll go ahead and check that here for you. Again, daily climate summary. Actually, we did readjustment here. We climbed to 93 degrees this afternoon at 2:43. That is when we reached that high temperature. Coincidentally, hot, warmer than average, yes, but not a record. Record was 98, set back most previously in 2008. So temperatures starting to cool back down. We're in the upper 80s. And look what we have developing up here to the north of the city of Atlanta. Some isolated to widely scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms in the first alert forecast. In fact, I'm going to take temperatures off, go exclusively into radar here, and we can track some of these downpours. Right now, we have a thunderstorm weakening as it moves to the south and east, unless still occasional lightning and thunder. Dropping back, though, that amount of lightning and brief heavy rain still. And this is moving off to the south and to the east at a pretty quick clip. Storms today have been moving fairly fast, no different this evening. So tracking this little downpour about to cross the Alabama and Georgia state line. This is moving into Floyd County from southwestern Chattooga County into the Cedar Bluff community by 7:25 Central Time, and then of course crossing the state line into Lindale by 8:50, Bryce, Georgia by 9:03, 9:13 into Cedartown. Another set of downpours here up in the mountains of far north Georgia. We're talking mountain communities up here. Don't want to skip over Canton, Cherokee County. We'll go right back there in just a moment. Again, putting radar back in a looping motion. This downpour also generally weakening just a little bit. Was producing some lightning up in East Tennessee and far western and southwestern North Carolina. Now, though, as it approaches the Georgia state line, moving towards Ivy Log, brushing northeastern Fannin County, it's weakening a bit. Nonetheless, brief heavy rain into Canal Lake by 8:35, Blairsville 8:41. And if it holds together, it could get down to the Toccoa area here over the next maybe hour and 15 minutes or so. Spottier, not as organized, unless a few showers pushing through northern Bartow County, northern Cherokee County. If you're spending the evening up on Lake Lanier, now that it's almost sunset, it's starting to get dark outside as I peer out the window. There are a few showers around. So if you're on Lake Lanier right now, up on a boat, it's been a great day to get outside. Hopefully you wore sunscreen, stayed hydrated. Still, though, a good day to get outside, but we now do have some of those showers moving through North Georgia, and eventually that chance of rain increasing across metro Atlanta. All right, before we jump ahead to the forecast, Kevin Green saying, thanks, you're very welcome. Again, if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, I'm going to fix my tie there. Feel free to reach out on YouTube. Atlanta News First is the account to like and follow. That is where we are streaming right now. So hour-by-hour forecast, again, so far on par with what is actually happening. We've cooled back down, temperatures back into the mid-80s, mid to upper 80s here by 9 p.m. within the next hour. 89 last check, probably down to 87. May need to adjust numbers just a little bit here, though cooler outlying outside of I-285. And that rain chance will start to increase. It will be hit or miss especially this evening. That rain chance gets a little bit of a boost into the wee hours of tomorrow morning. Wouldn't be totally shocked if you're woken up by some thunder and lightning late tonight into early tomorrow morning. In fact, let's roll the clock back. Forecast model doing a decent job showing spotty downpours well north of the city of Atlanta this evening. Once we get past 11 p.m., though, I think more of a flare-up of showers and thunderstorms. Still not 100% coverage. Not everyone seeing rain, not everyone hearing thunder this evening, but after 11 p.m. as we approach midnight, 2 a.m., showers and thunderstorms really do start to develop. Brief heavy rain, thunder, and lightning with these 3, 4, 5 a.m., an unfortunate time for thunder to wake the pup up, wake the kiddo up, wake you up, but Nonetheless, I should say, that could be the case tonight. Thunder and lightning could be frequent with a couple of these downpours. Good news for the morning commute. Here we are, 7 a.m. Not completely dry, though other models are drier for the morning commute. So I don't think it's a total washout, but I think that there will be some rain in the area, and it's possible you're going to be dealing with some wet roadways 8, 9, even 10 o'clock tomorrow morning before much drier air filters in. And let's go ahead and go to tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow evening, perfectly nice. I mean, it's going to be drying out, clearing out. Lower humidity filtering in, a breeze. Tomorrow cooler than today. It's that time between now and then that we're going to be dealing with that risk of some showers and thunderstorms. Marginal 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather. So basically a couple storms this evening could become strong to severe, producing wind gusts 60, 65 miles an hour. And hail up to about the size of quarters. That's mainly this evening. I think once we get to the overnight period, it's unlikely that we'll see severe weather, but not impossible. So something to keep an eye on. And we'll keep you updated right here and in the First Alert Weather app, even outside of news time. So for the morning commute tomorrow, something to keep in mind, we do have that chance of thunder and lightning, rain as well, at least brief heavy rain in the forecast. Commute impacts tomorrow, just a heads up. We do have the yellow light flashing there. It's not a total washout, probably not a terrible morning commute, but there could be some rain to contend with. You can wake up with the team tomorrow morning, get the latest where it's raining. If there are any crashes because there are wet roads and a few spots, with First Alert meteorologists Courtney Jacobazzi and Ella Dorsey, they will have your complete First Alert forecast tomorrow morning starting at 4:30. Once we're behind the rain, though, temperatures do warm up tomorrow, though not as warm as today. Again, 93 the official high temperature today, hottest so far this year. Going 86 in Atlanta tomorrow, 83 Carrollton, 83 Griffin, 84 Covington, 86 Thomaston, Eatonton 86, 80 up in Helen. And look at Ellijay, 78 on, what is tomorrow, June 10th. On the afternoon of June 10th, 78 degrees. Can't beat that. Low humidity and a breeze up in Ellijay. Gorgeous Monday up in the mountains. Maybe you had a long weekend. Hopefully you're enjoying it up there. Weather tomorrow will certainly cooperate. Now, as we look at the poolcast, keep in mind it's a work day for many, but also a school day for very few. So many students out of school now, and it'll be a good day to hit up the pool. I think best afternoon. Sunniest, nicest, but really after 9, 10 a.m. We're pretty much done with the shower activity, and we will be enjoying a nice afternoon tomorrow. Tuesday and Wednesday mornings, because of this dry air that's filtering in, will be a little cooler. 64 Tuesday morning, 66 Wednesday morning. As we get into Wednesday night, Thursday morning, 71. 72 Friday morning, 73 Saturday morning, 72 Sunday morning. So really Wednesday morning, the last cool or comfortable morning, and then it's going to be getting warmer, getting muggier. Temperatures back in the low to mid-90s pretty easily. In fact, we may need to bump up these temperatures a little bit late week on into the weekend, as it really looks like a hot weather pattern is going to kind of grip the southeast and portions of the east. We are going to be watching some tropical moisture down in the Gulf of Mexico, the Western Caribbean. Right now, not really concerned about any tropical development as it pertains to our forecast, but there will be quite a bit of moisture thrown into Florida, perhaps other portions of the south and east. So we will be watching the forecast this weekend, and then especially early portions of the following week. Right now, it does look like the heavy rain potential to our south, talking about the I-10 corridor along the Gulf Coast, but something that we will be watching as the week goes on. Again, you get those updates right here in the First Alert Weather app and at AtlantaNewsFirst.com. Want to thank you for tuning in and for watching. A reminder that you can always get a check of the forecast in the First Alert Weather app, as mentioned. And we're going to be back on your screen, streaming where you're watching now, also on TV, Atlanta News First on Peachtree TV, Atlanta CW affiliate, starting at 10 p.m. and then back on for the late news at 11 on WANF Atlanta News First with Tori and Carly. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Do keep in mind scattered showers and storms in the forecast overnight tonight.